I was 28 when I married Daniel. He was 42. At that age, I figured a man should already know who he is, should have built something solid. I believed his maturity would mean stability, that he would provide the way a husband is supposed to. I pictured a partnership, a team, but what I got was something else entirely. Instead of a partner, I became the sole provider. I found myself carrying the weight of our entire lives all on my own. The rent, the bills, the groceries, even the small luxuries that make life feel less like a chore, those were all mine to cover. Daniel's contribution. Passion and passion alone. I won't lie, the nights with him were intoxicating, a whirlwind of emotion and connection that made me forget everything else. But the mornings were a harsh reality check, heavy with silence and a growing stack of unpaid responsibilities. The magic of the night would dissolve with the sunrise, leaving me alone to face the cold, hard facts of our financial situation. Passion is a beautiful thing, but it doesn't keep the lights on. I remember this one specific evening so clearly. I was sitting at our small kitchen table, just staring at this pile of overdue bills. The red ink on the final notices seemed to scream at me. My hands were actually trembling, not from fear, but from a mix of anger and sheer exhaustion. A thought kept running through my mind over and over again. He's 42. He should be the one protecting me, not the one draining me. He's the man, the older one. He should be the rock. Society, our culture here in Lusaka, our families, they all tell us a man is supposed to provide. And it's not just about money. It's about providing emotional support, consistency, a vision for the future. It's about being a leader in the home. Daniel gave me none of that. He gave me desire, yes, but desire doesn't pay the rent. Desire doesn't build a future. It's like trying to build a house with sand. It feels good in your hands for a moment, but it can't create a solid foundation. I was giving my all, my youth, my energy, my income, and in return, I was getting moments of passion that were followed by days of anxiety. It wasn't a fair trade. The day of the divorce hearing, I chose my outfit very carefully. I wore a simple, elegant black dress. I wanted to look composed, put together, even though inside I felt like I was completely unraveling. Walking into that courtroom felt surreal. There he was, sitting across the room, the man I had promised my life to. He looked unbothered. The judge, a woman with kind but firm eyes, looked at both of us. After what felt like an eternity of legal jargon, she finally said the words, "Divorce is granted." Her voice was steady, official. Assets are to be shared equally between the parties. When I heard that, I almost laughed, a bitter, hollow laugh right there in the middle of the courtroom. Assets. What assets? There was absolutely nothing to divide. No house we had built together, no savings account growing for our future, no investments we'd planned. There were just debts and wasted years. What is half of nothing? It's still nothing. I glanced over at Daniel. He shifted in his seat, and for a split second I saw a flicker of something in his eyes. Maybe he thought the words shared equally meant he was getting some grand payout. But I knew the truth. We had built nothing together. There was nothing to share but a deep, shared disappointment. After the hearing, I couldn't stop thinking about it. All the sacrifices I had made. I thought about the countless nights I stayed up late, my eyes burning from staring at a computer screen, taking on extra freelance work, just to make sure the rent was paid on time. I thought about the vacations I never took. My friends would be posting pictures from Cape Town or Dubai, and I'd be at home, transferring money to cover yet another bill Daniel had forgotten about. I thought about the dreams I had postponed. I always wanted to go back to school for my master's degree, maybe even start my own small consulting business. But those dreams were always on the back burner because I was too busy being the provider for both of us. At 28, when I married him, I should have been building my own future, laying the bricks for my own empire. Instead, I spent my best years patching the holes in his life. And Daniel, at 42, he should have been the one carrying me forward, supporting my dreams, being my biggest cheerleader. Instead, he was the anchor that was pulling me down, deeper and deeper into a sea of responsibility that wasn't mine to carry alone. He was a weight, not a wing. When the judge's gavel struck the wood, the sound echoed in the quiet room. It was more than just a legal formality. For me, that sound was the sound of shackles breaking. It was freedom. The marriage was officially over, and with it, so was the illusion I had been living in. The illusion that his passion was enough, that one day he would step up, that our love could survive on my effort alone. I walked out of that courtroom feeling lighter than I had in years. The Lusaka sun felt warmer on my skin. I took a deep breath of the city air, and it felt like the first real breath I'd taken in a long, long time. Sure, there was no property to my name, no wealth to show for my years of hard work, no shared empire, but there was me. I was still young, I was still strong, and I was finally free. Free to build a life on my own terms. A life where love means more than just fleeting desire, and where provision is more than just an empty promise. As I walked away from the courthouse, leaving that chapter of my life behind me, I whispered something to myself, just for me to hear. I said, I choose me, and for the very first time, standing there on my own 2 feet, with nothing but my own strength to rely on, I truly believed it. My future was now an empty canvas, and I was the only artist, and it was going to be a masterpiece. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you in any way, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your support means the world.